Hello, and welcome to Burlington Telecom's Cord Cutting Clinic webinar series. This is the first in the series. This webinar is entitled, Why is Cord Cutting? So today we'll be discussing what is cord cutting and why Burlington Telecom is convincing our customers to cut the cord. Cord cutting is the process of canceling your cable subscription and using only your internet connection to watch all TV shows and movies. With cable rates increasing year over year, we want to show our customers how to find a way to keep their rates steady and, in a lot of cases, lower their rates. So, today we'll be looking at the current pricing structures and dip a toe into some of the cord cutting devices and streaming services you might want to try. But first, let's go over a brief history of the television subscription industry. This is a really cool video from the Wall Street Journal giving a brief history of the cable industry, how cable came to be what it is today, and why now we're shifting away from that. So let's give it a watch.
200 channels and nothing to watch? That wasn't always a problem in America because we didn't always have 200 channels. Everything changed when cable was born. Back in the 1940s, broadcast television was transforming the country. TV signal was transmitted from local towers to rabbit ear antenna, but reception was a hit or miss. Not everyone could get a signal. So a few enterprising Americans found a workaround. One of them being John Walson, a TV salesman in rural Pennsylvania. Walson put an antenna on a hilltop and ran a wire down to his TV store. The idea of cable was born. By 1952, these community antennas serviced 14,000 cable subscribers in 70 different places nationwide. And unlike local broadcasters, antenna operators could pick up signals from far away, allowing cable customers to access new content. In 1972, Charles Dolan launched Home Box Office, or HBO. 4 years later, in 1976, Ted Turner founded what would become TBS, and later created CNN. The cable industry gave rise to new titans, who took advantage of satellite technology to reach larger audiences. By the 1990s, cable took off, and there were millions of subscribers to dozens of cable companies across the country. Cable reached millions of American households for decades. And then the internet arrived. First, it was just dial-up, like your old AOL free trial CDs. You remember those. Service traveled over old copper phone lines owned by phone companies. Cable providers quickly realized that the fat wires they had built to transmit hundreds of TV channels could also be used to provide internet service. So they started selling high-speed internet with their cable bundles. Suddenly, illegally downloading that Red Hot Chili Peppers album on Napster got a whole lot faster. But stringing every household in America with cable wire is expensive. Cable companies effectively divided up the country rather than compete directly against each other. Content providers then created more and more channels. Cable operators paid to carry them and passed on fees to consumers. This left Americans with high bills and confusing bundle options. Today, millennials especially have cut their cable subscriptions and flocked to streaming services like Hulu and Netflix, which are more affordable and, supply endless content to meet the binge-watching demand. The shift has had profound effects. Media companies like Disney and Viacom relied on money from cable bundles for decades. Now they're struggling to transform in the new world. For Disney, that means buying a huge chunk of 21st Century Fox, a deal that will increase its suite of TV shows and movies. Meanwhile, cable companies are relying on selling internet service and looking to also expand into the cell phone industry.
She's got no Wi-Fi.
So, how these companies, regulators, and consumers navigate this new world of options will determine the future of cable. Stay tuned.
Okay, so I hope that video was helpful in sort of understanding the context of the television subscription industry and how we ended up here today. So next, let's talk a bit about what makes Burlington Telecom different and poised to really take advantage of cord cutting. So, if we think about our two main competitors here in Vermont, we have Consolidated Communications and Comcast or Xfinity service. And the way I like to think about it is that Consolidated Communications, formerly Fairpoint, started out primarily as a telephone company. Xfinity, as we all know, is a giant cable company, but Burlington Telecom, we are first and foremost an internet company. So while all three of these companies deliver phone and cable subscriptions and internet service, Burlington Telecom does internet service better than anybody else. So, why is being primarily an internet provider important? Well, think about how many devices you have that connect to the internet in your home. You don't just have smartphones and you don't just have computers. Your TV is connected to the internet. Your dishwasher might be connected. Your washer and dryer. You've got tablets. You've got multiple users, and they're all streaming things and they're all connecting to the Wi Fi. So, you need a lot of speed. Um, when we look at the comparison between us and our competitors, Consolidated Communications, they offer their internet over something called DSL, which is phone line, and the maximum speeds they can offer are only 10 megabits per second. Xfinity offers up to 1000 megabits per second, but as far as we know, that is not a symmetrical speed. And you're going to see that Burlington Telecom offers symmetrical gigabit. What does that even mean? That means that the upload speeds and the download speeds are the same. With Comcast, they only advertise their download speeds, and their upload speeds can be up to 90% slower. And why is that important? If you look at the inverted pyramid to your left, you'll see our three internet tiers 5, 150, and 1000. If you're someone who doesn't really connect to the internet much, you're only on there to check your email, maybe do a little web browsing, maybe stream some music, and you're the only user on your service, 5 megabits will probably get it done for you. Our next tier up, though, is 150, and that's going to capture most people in most homes. So 150 can handle multiple users on multiple devices that are sharing photographs, uploading photos, downloading movies and music on streaming devices. If you got a gamer in your house, if you're sharing a lot of files. But if you're someone who uploads gigantic files like graphic designer or movies or photographs, or if you're a really hardcore gamer and you don't want any lag time, then you're going to want our gigabit speed, which is 1000 megabits per second. And what makes ours special, because it's symmetrical, is the upload time is so much faster. Okay, but why? Why is Burlington Telecom convincing their customers to cancel their cable subscriptions and only get internet service? It's because cable rates keep going up and up every year. It's a cost that's hard for us to swallow as a business, and we hate having to pass those additional rates on to our customers when we know they can get the exact same experience, if not better, on the internet. We're an awesome internet company. Internet is what we do best, and we'd rather have a happy internet customer than a frustrated cable customer. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple of telecom bills that you might get at your home. And these are actual bills from actual Burlington Telecom customers and Comcast customers that we've seen here in our office. So let's start with a BT customer that has a triple play bundle. That means they get internet, a cable package, and phone service. And at BT, that triple play bundle is going to cost $163. But there's more. This person had two TVs in their home, so they have an HD set-top box that cost them $9 a month, and a second HD set-top box for their other TV that costs $7 a month. Um, there's also fees like the franchise fee, the PEG fee that gets you your local access channels like CCTV, VCAM, RATN, and the Universal Service Fund. Those are really just kind of fees that come down, pass through us, and back to the federal government. And your taxes. And you see here we got Burlington sales tax, Vermont sales tax, and the federal sales tax. No one likes that part of the bill. And it all totals up to $202 approximately. So now let's check out our Comcast customer. Comcast customer has a really similar bundle to the BT. It's got 100 meg internet, a nice cable package, and unlimited phone service, just like the BT customer, for $115 a month. That seems like a lot less, but let's see what else is on the bill. This customer, if I recall correctly, had three TVs in their home. So they pay an additional digital preferred package. They pay $15 a month for HBO. They have an HD fee of almost $10 a month, and then a bunch more fees for their additional set top boxes and DVR boxes. Although Comcast does give them a nice equipment discount of $2.68. Aw. And they have to rent a modem or a router to get Wi Fi in their home. That's another $11 a month. And here again are our taxes and fees. Something different in the Comcast bill that you don't see in the BT bill is the regional fee, the broadcast fee and the sports fee. Those are just added in to sort of spread the pain and to help Comcast make their initial price offering seem lower. And we don't do that at BT. We try to focus more on pricing transparency for our customers. So after you add all of that up, that $115 becomes almost $240 a month. Okay, so back to the big screen here. You got your BT customer paying $202 a month. You got your Comcast customer with $240. Now let's take a look at what would happen under the green there on the far right if they got rid of their phone service, they got rid of their cable TV subscription, and all they had was our middle tier of internet service for 150 megabits per month. That's only $55. They also maybe would lease a wireless router from us, which we recommend. It helps to give you the best experience, helps us troubleshoot. That's $10 a month. So the BT cord cutter only pays $65 a month. So if you were the BT customer with the triple play bundle before, you're suddenly saving $137 a month, and the Comcast customer is saving $175. All right, so you're thinking, that sounds really awesome. I'd love to save all that money. What do I do next? From here, I'm going to turn it over to Burlington Telecom's cord cutting expert, Sean Kayo, and he's going to tell you a little bit about devices and streaming services.
All right, so let's jump right into some devices. There's lots of different streaming devices that you can get. There's Roku's, like you see here. There's Apple TVs if you're in the Appleverse. There's Amazon Fire devices. Tons of other Android products as well. But here at Burlington Telecom, we have a little bit of a preference for Roku devices. And here's just a sample selection of some of the devices that you could get to solve your cord cutting needs. First up, we have the Roku Express Plus. We like to say this device makes your old or your dumb TV a smart TV. You can only get this device at Walmart for around 35 bucks. What makes this one a little bit different is it does have composite cables, so you can plug in the red, white, and yellow cables in the back of an older television. Next, we have a Roku streaming stick. These are really great. They're like a USB thumb drive. You can plug them in and move them, take them with you. They're really convenient to take along with you wherever you go. And those ones usually start around 50 bucks. And lastly, we have the Roku Ultra. This one has all the bells and whistles. It's got a really great remote with a function where you can plug in a set of headphones for quiet listening. It's got a remote finder, and it provides the best wireless and video performance. This one starts around $100. Now that we've looked at a couple devices, let's jump into some terminology that can be a little bit confusing for folks sometimes. So we wanted to take a side-by-side view of traditional cable and cord cutting. So first up, we have set-top boxes. Your set-top box is going to be replaced with a streaming device like the Roku's we just saw, or your Smart TV, or an Apple TV, Amazon Fire devices. There's a bunch of different options to choose from. Next up, we have cable packages, whether that's through Burlington Telecom or any of our competitors. Those packages will be replaced with streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, PlayStation View. The list goes on and on. There's lots of different options available. Next, we have live broadcast, sports, news, TV shows. That is streaming now. You can find all your live broadcast, your live sports, your live news through streaming devices with streaming services. Next, we have syndication, or what we call reruns. That's replaced with video on demand. A number of different streaming services have huge video on demand libraries. And lastly, we have DVR. We know folks are sometimes attached to their DVR and they don't want to lose that. Well, the good news is there's a number of live streaming services that offer cloud DVR, and oftentimes it's way better than what you can get over a hardware device. So hopefully this clarifies a little bit of the confusion with the cord cutting terminology. Um, you have now a little bit better of an understanding of what a streaming device is, what a streaming service is, but maybe you're still confused about what cable replacement should I go with. And we have a really good solution for that. This is a website that we had stumbled across a few months ago. It's called the streamable.com, and they have a really great tool on there. It's a live TV streaming app matchmaker. And what you do is you plug in a few of your favorite TV channels, your favorite TV shows, even your sports teams. And based off of that, it'll make a recommendation on what service you should look into. It's a really great tool and it's really helpful for us to make recommendations to customers. And we always tell folks to go there and check it out. So, coming up next, I think we're jumping right back into the math. So, I'm going to hand it right back over to Abby to finish up this webinar.
Okay, awesome. So now you have a great idea about some of the devices and streaming services and how that all works. Let's go back to our BT customer who was paying $202 a month for a triple play bundle with BT. They are now a BT cord cutter. They got rid of landline phone, they got rid of their cable subscription. They pay us only for an internet connection for $55 a month and a wireless router for $10 a month, bringing their grand total Burlington Telecom monthly bill to a whopping $65 a month. Please note that there are no taxes and fees. There's no taxation on internet. You just pay for the service and the router, 65 bucks. From there, this customer had two TVs and they decided to get two different Roku devices. They got the Express Plus to turn their old TV into a smart TV and a Roku streaming stick for the TV that they watched the most. Those are one-time costs of $35 and $50 respectively, and that has now essentially replaced the fees that they paid to Burlington Telecom for the set-top boxes, the high definition service, and the DVR service. From there, they decided to go with YouTube Live TV with an HBO add-on. That replaces their cable subscription. They also became a sustaining member of Vermont PBS because that got them additional PBS content that they love to watch so much. So that brings their monthly telecom bills total to $115 a month. Now, when you compare that to $202 a month, you're saving $87 a month. Pretty awesome. If you're thinking, that's cool, but can I save some more money? Absolutely. There are other ways you can save money. You can have less TVs. Less TVs means you buy less Rokus. You can also check into the federal Lifeline program, which a lot of people qualify for through different federal assistance programs. So please visit our website to check out more about that. And also, Roku comes loaded with all sorts of content. You don't necessarily need to buy any additional services, only if you want to. So you might be able to get by with a digital antenna and free Roku apps. So that's it. You've reached the end of this webinar, but I'm sure you're sitting there thinking, man, I have a lot more questions. We totally understand, and we want to answer those questions for you. So for more information or to schedule a one-on-one cord cutting session with our experts like Sean, call 802-540-0007, or you can email us at cordcutting@burlingtontelecom.com. We'd love to hear your feedback. We're also going to be producing a few more webinars about specific devices, specific services. We hope to answer all your questions, so let us know what they are. Thanks so much.